what's inside this PC and will it work? It's another ATX tower. This one we've got nothing on the front, no stickers on the side, no stickers on the top, and no stickers on this side. So let's spin it around, have a look what we've got on the back. And we have got a power supply with a switch, old PS2 connections, 2 USB, 2 serial, printer, game port, audio, and we've got 4 USB sockets here, a graphics card, looks like this is loose, and a network card here. So let's have a look inside. So we'll just quickly undo this. Slide this off and have a look what we've got. Oh, that's interesting. We have got, looks like a VIA chipset here. There's a fan on this. That looks like it spins okay. That also looks like it spins okay. So it's a Gigabyte, let me switch the light on. It's a Gigabyte GA7DXR Plus. There's no memory. There's no hard drive. The floppy drive has been disconnected. And the top drive's connected power wise. Feels like a cheap power supply, and 20 pin there. There's no CPU connection. Looks like there's a grommet under this screw and the extra power connector there. AGP graphics here. This needs reconnecting, but the USB here is coming straight off the motherboard. We've got IDE connections here at the bottom. Let me bring that closer so you can see. CMOS battery. Oh, we've got IDE there and IDE here. It's got one of those Gigabyte dual BIOS, so that you've got 2 BIOS chips. That was so that if you accidentally corrupted one, you could switch to the other. And yeah, it's looking pretty interesting. It's connected there, CPU fan there. So GA7DXR, guessing an AMD Athlon system. It's difficult to see sort of under this. Oh yeah, it's got one of those awful clip systems. So let's try the power supply and see if that works. So I'm expecting additional connections, but it's really very basic. It's just got Molex and the 20 pin motherboard connector. And I'll just grab the power cable. So I'm going to plug the power in. It's switched off at the moment, and we've got this, and I'm going to switch it on now. Okay. It switched on and it didn't blow up, and we've got 11.2 volts, 5 volts, 3.2, 11.2 and 5.2. The fan in the back of the power supply is spinning, so that's good. I think we will try and use this power supply to switch the system on and see what happens. We need to put some memory in here, and I'm guessing it's DDR RAM, and that seems to click in quite nicely. Connect the power for the motherboard and leave everything else unplugged, I guess. There's no fan on the graphics card, so that shouldn't make any noise. And I'm going to switch the power on the back. I've connected the keyboard, mouse, monitor, power, and we should be okay to switch it on. And we'll see if something comes up on the screen. There's no beep, yet. Looking to, oh, there is a speaker here at the front. Looks to be connected. Not seeing anything yet. We've got some bad looking capacitors. So we have got a range of capacitors that aren't looking good, particularly this one and this one. Those are both sort of look like they're leaking a little bit and bulging. And then further up, I'm not sure about this one or this one. And then the one next to the power connector, that doesn't look so good either. It might have leaked. So yeah, that could be an issue, but we'll try getting this to work anyway. Before I start sort of tearing this down and taking it apart, I thought I would try a different power supply just in case it has any effect. Probably help if I switch it on and then press the power button. And I've also connected the optical drive to see if there's anything in there. There is not. Makes an interesting noise, but we're not getting anything on the screen. We're not getting any beeps. We're just getting a PC that doesn't work. So I think for the time being, I'm going to leave this for another day. It's a shame it's not really doing anything, but yeah, the poor capacitor problem could be a big job. And normally you kind of, well, if you're lucky, you might get something on screen and then you know you've got something to work with. But at the moment, this is a tricky one that will take more time to work out and might involve replacing a number of capacitors before getting a working system. And even then, there might be something else that is wrong with this system. So for now, I'm just going to leave it. And another PC plagued by the capacitor problems. Sad times. This is the graphics card. It's a Sapphire ATI AGP card, and it's ATI Radeon 9250 128 meg. Yeah, not the greatest, but acceptable. It's got a switch for PAL and NTSC for the S-Video out. This is the power supply. It's very cheap. It looks like it's a 300 watt power supply, and its brand is Advance Thermo Control and Noise Killer. This is the heatsink. It's a Thermaltake TR2, and it's got a copper base plate, and the thermal paste is still wet. And this is the processor. It is an AMD Athlon XP 2000. You might remember these things. You used to be able to do some interesting things with these, but I can't remember the details right now. I'm going to try another CPU in here. I've got a Sempron 2800 or 2400 here, and we'll see if that makes any difference. I've also removed the power supply, which made it easier to remove the heatsink. Still a huge heatsink and still difficult to fit. I've also got a little shim here designed to protect the processor. So I'll connect the fan and we'll use a power supply. I mean, obviously we'll use a power supply. It's quite important. Got an 80 bronze power supply. This should be okay. I've connected the power, the keyboard, the mouse, the monitor connection, and I think I've switched it on. Yep. So let's see if anything happens. The lights flashed on the keyboard. Still nothing on the screen. Let me try a different card. Put in a different graphics card, a PCI card. I'm switching it on now. Oh, and it works. XP 1500, maybe the settings are wrong for this chip. Great. So is it just that the graphics card was faulty and I didn't think to try and change it? Let's have a look in the BIOS. Or was it the CPU that was the problem? Let's see, PC health. The fan on the motherboard is quite loud. That could do with replacing, that's a shame. Strange that it doesn't beep. Maybe the PC speakers, oh, there's a wire, there's a loose wire here for some reason. Not connected to anything. Interesting. So I'll just try a different AGP card. I took this AGP card out, put in a PCI card. Let's try AGP again. So I've put in a chunky AGP card. And that's working. Okay, let's go back to the original CPU and see if that works. Flathead screwdriver. Gently removing the heatsink. Here's the little shim. Here's the processor. This is the original processor that was in here. Put some thermal paste on. Put the heatsink back on. I'll put the shim on as well. Half the time these things don't feel right, but it has squished all the thermal paste, so that's good. I need to stop doing that. Okay, let's connect the fan. Put the power supply back in. Connect the power cable. Okay, so let's switch it back on. And it's working. So is this all just because of a faulty graphics card? I really should have tried a different graphics card, basically. XP 2000, and maybe it was reseating the... No, the graphics card was the problem. So, faulty graphics card, problem. Not sure why I didn't check that earlier, but it's a working PC. Now I just need to work out what I'm going to do with it.